As this episode of Alive and Thriving goes to air, we are just a couple of days out from Christmas. So I really wanted to share with you my 3 top tips for a stress-free Christmas day. And this episode in particular is going to be great for you if you are not stopping before Christmas, if you are on the go all of Christmas Day as well, if you are stressing and having anxiety over the day itself and the people that you may encounter. So get ready. Here are my top tips for how to maintain a stress-free Christmas day. This is Alive and Thriving, where we tackle all things that stand in the way of holistic well-being and self-care in life and as women in business. Join me for real and raw conversations and inspiring guests who are expert in their fields as we come back to life together, overcoming stress, anxiety, nourishing our mind, body, and emotions. I am your host, Jessica Reed, alternative therapist, life and wellbeing coach. And if you are ready to grow, heal, and thrive together, then you are in the right place. You know, I think it was only really when I had kids that I realized that Christmas wasn't just only a super joyful time where you turned up to events and, you had fun. And I'm not saying Christmas hasn't been fun. It absolutely has. And I so look forward to that Christmas morning and all of the festivities and the activities that we do leading into it. But as a mum, as somebody who also runs a business and has other things going on, that preparation is a lot. There is a lot to do. And I think particularly on Christmas Day, because we've got this big lead up, this big build up. And then I think sometimes we expect that then Christmas Day, all the stress will just go away. And for so many of us, that's just not true. Sometimes we forget that when we are running around in preparation for Christmas, even when we're talking that morning when you've been up since the butt crack of dawn because the kids got up and, they got you up and, you've still got to get breakfast ready and you've got to get ready perhaps to go somewhere or to host somewhere and, you've got to make your potato salad and there's all these things to do. I think we often forget that we are running around in our fight or flight response, which of course is taking a toll on our physical, mental and emotional well-being. And I think it's also really, really important to acknowledge and just really bring to awareness, and I know some of you will feel really heard with this, that if you have social anxiety, this can be a really, really stressful time for you purely because of the interactions that you are anticipating. You may have already been experiencing physical anxiety symptoms or racing thoughts or consuming thoughts, anxious thoughts, purely just at the thought of seeing certain people, seeing all the people, having to leave the house this Christmas, having to make conversation. And then if you are triggered, if you are somebody who is triggered by certain family members or people that you are seeing at Christmas, but the right thing is to go, so you're going, but you've been having anxiety for the last week thinking about who you're going to see and what they're going to say. Or if you have kids and you're bouncing around between families all day or you're hosting the day, there are so many aspects to the day that can cause you stress. And I do truly, truly hope that you do get to sit down and relax eventually. But I wanted to share with you some tips to minimize stress on the day and minimize the way that it is going to impact you this Christmas. And not only that, but also protect yourself in terms of energetically, in terms of that social burnout, in terms of the stress and anxiety from other people. Because we don't all get along with our families. And we don't, I do. I'm very lucky. I love my family. So if you are listening, if my family is listening, I do love you all. But I know that we don't all get along with our families. And I know that for some people, Christmas or any family event can be extremely triggering for varying reasons. So, first of all, let's have a chat about tip number one. And tip number one is scheduling some time to breathe. Now, let's keep this really simple because I know your day is busy and I know that there is lots to do and you might forget. You also might not have your phone around you. You don't want any alarms going off throughout your day. So, how are you going to possibly schedule some time to breathe? First of all, let me explain why. When we have deep breathing and we have a long exhale with that deep breath, we are signaling for our fight or flight response to switch off and that we are safe, we are calm. And the thing is with fight or flight, I talk about being safe. You might think logically, I know I'm safe. But with our fight or flight response, when we're in that stress response, our brain is just wired for safety. So it deems that we're not safe, if that makes sense. So we want to be exhaling with a nice long exhale. And I recommend doing this every single time that you go to the loo. Every time. And you might have a few champagnes, so it might be a few times throughout that day. Great. That is going to be really helpful for you. Here is some simple breathing that you can do. Honestly, 1 minute, close your eyes so that you are focused on your body just while you're sitting on the loo. I know, it's just, but when else do you find the time? When do you get the alone time? When do you get a break from the people? So we close our eyes and we inhale deeply for around 4 counts. Just inhaling through your nose, holding it for 1 second, and then exhaling for 5 or 6 counts out your mouth. Just ensuring that that exhale is longer than your inhale. And we do this for a minute. Now, you may like to have a mantra with this. And if you're not familiar with mantras, you can do this in your head. And as you inhale, you may like to inhale something like the word calm. Inhale, calm. And you just hold the word out while you inhale, so calm. And then you may like to exhale, safe, particularly if you've got anxiety. Safe as you exhale, safe as you exhale. Or you may like to exhale the word grounded. You may like to choose your own. But just combining that mantra with your breath whilst you're on the loo is one really simple way that you can help your stress response throughout the day, help to keep you calm. The next thing is to set some boundaries. Now, if you know that you are going to be triggered by people that you will be coming into contact with, or, you also, maybe this is a tough time of year, maybe you're experiencing some grief, you know that there are going to be things people might bring up or talk about. Perhaps, whatever it is going on for you, it's likely that you've already been playing this in your mind over and over again. And you've already been causing yourself some stress from these thoughts of anticipation. And if that's the case, I recommend doing some simple EFT tapping beforehand, right now even. If you're already thinking the thoughts, you're dreading what's going to happen, dreading the conversations, start the tapping now. And it could be something as simple as, even though I don't want to talk about this event, I know that I am safe. Tapping on that side of your hand, even though I don't want to talk about this event, I know that I'm safe. Or even though I'm dreading whatever it is, I accept that I feel this way. And then just moving around the points of your body with really simple reminder phrases. I accept that I'm dreading this, or I don't want to see this person, I'm dreading this, whatever it is for you. Really simple reminder phrases, but just tapping away that stress and intensity that you've already got going on. And then you want to set a boundary before the day. And, I can only give broad examples because I don't know what's going on for you. But know that whatever, you need to set a boundary for, that you are worthy and you are deserving of boundaries, because boundaries can feel uncomfortable and they can feel scary, and they can bring with them a lot of fear of conflict or fear of rejection. But as my friend Jess Soto Ramirez would say, feel the fear and do it anyway, because the boundaries are essential for your mental health, and you really can use EFT to lower some of that intensity on holding the boundaries. So, if there is someone who your children don't like, if there is someone who criticizes your cooking, if there's someone who puts down your business or just makes insensitive comments, if there is someone, who you've never gotten along with, or someone that you have a deeper history with, and that you can't really be in the same space with them without feeling like you are energetically affected. Decide ahead of time what your boundary needs to be to feel you from feeling triggered, to stop you, from feeling triggered. And a really easy way to do that is just to say to yourself, what do I need right now in this moment? Or what would my inner child need right now? Because often those fears, those triggers, they are coming from the inner child. Okay? Even if the trigger has something that happened to you when you were an adult, your logical mind understands that that was then and this is now. Your inner child does not. Your inner child carries the hurt, carries the memories, and your emotional brain carries the associations. So a boundary may be something as simple as, I will allow myself just 2 minutes in the company of this person, and then I say I need to go to the toilet and I walk away. And then go to the loo and do your breathing. Or your boundary may be something like, I leave at 8 p.m. I leave when I choose to leave. I allow my children to decide who they spend their time around. And I let go of the pressure to do otherwise. Because a lot of the time when we are not holding our boundaries, we are trying to keep other people happy. And what that will do is that will hurt your mental health, and that will hurt your stress levels, and that will hurt your anxiety. I also really encourage you to challenge yourself when you notice the opinions of other people creeping in. So I would really love for you to remember, if you are triggered by the things that other people say, that you are not what other people's opinions are. Okay? That is not the truth. Their opinions are simply opinions, their opinions. And they are based on what they know and what they have learned and what they have experienced as normal. Their opinions, their life. You are you, as they say in Gestalt. You are you and they are they. And you are not here to meet their expectations, and they are not here to meet your expectations. So if somebody has, varying opinions of what you're doing, how you conduct yourself, how you cook, your business, whatever it is that people are saying, I really urge you to hold a really strong affirmation in your head. I am I and they are they, and that is okay. I am worthy and deserving of boundaries. Some other things that may help, I give myself permission to hold boundaries. Boundaries are safe. So let's set some boundaries. And I know it might feel scary. Just do your best. Okay? And the final tip that I have for lowering or keeping a stress-free Christmas day is to journal your day at the end of the day. So I know you're tired, you're exhausted, you might be a little tipsy, that's okay. But what I would love for you to do is just grab out your journal right before bed and just journal out anything that you need to get out of your head. Any conversations that you are replaying, any perceived judgments from yourself, from other people, just get them out of your head. Once you have done that, complete a gratitude list. Actually, before your gratitude list, tap about the way that you're feeling. So journal out your day, journal out what needs to come out, whatever that may be, anything that is going to stay in your mind and bother you, journal it out. Use some EFT to quickly tap on the emotion that you are feeling. Even though this person said this, I know I'm safe. Even though I'm replaying these words, even though whatever it is for you. And then finish with a gratitude list. So I hope that these things are going to help you to just protect yourself as much as possible this Christmas. And know that it's okay. If you are the person who is dreading the day, dreading the social interactions, that's okay. There is nothing wrong with you for that. I encourage you to enjoy a mindful as possible day. Maybe set some time, where you have your phone out, take some photos, and then pop it away and just be in the moment with the people that you feel safe to do that with and the people who matter to you. And I think probably if you are someone who is feeling like Christmas might be a bit stressful, I have a bonus tip. And that would be not to miss your morning grounding practice. So you may not have time, it might be obviously a day to skip your workout or skip the gym or whatever it is for you. But if you meditate in the morning, don't skip it. If you journal in the morning, if you tap, if you've got a breathing or a stretching practice, don't skip that. Even if it's just a shorter version of what you normally do, it's important that if your day is going to resemble anything other than a calm and joyful day, then make sure you still do your morning grounding practices. A little bit of gentle movement if you have time. Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us for this Christmas episode. And I really hope that these tips do help. Let me know if you implement any of them. And I hope that you do have an amazing time with your families and with people that you do love and that you care about, and that you can really be in the moment, creating memories and just really having some time where you give yourself permission to switch off from the rest of everyday life. And whatever Christmas means for you, Merry Christmas. And I will see you on our next episode. You have been listening to Alive and Thriving by Inspired Life Collective. Did you know that you can help us to impact even more women on their well-being journey simply by subscribing to this podcast and leaving a review? If stress or anxiety, life or business has got you feeling inside like you are just busting to come back to life, then I invite you to book a discovery call with me so we can chat about how Inspired Life Collective private and online services might be able to support you through your journey. I am so grateful to you for being here and having me in your ears. So until the next episode, just remember that you were born to thrive.